Hello, Marcus.
Hi, Dobroslawa. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's so good to see you after this. Yeah, already 2 days. We saw each other the last time on Sunday in your wonderful international time waiver conference.
Yeah, this was really great to see you and hear your amazing lecture.
Yeah, thank you so much. You know, for me, it was first amazing because it was the first time when I had a lecture for time waiver conference in German and in English. But the thing which is most incredible for me is how you and your team are able each year, because it was my, I think, 7th or 8th conference, time waiver conference, and you are able each year to create, or sometimes twice a year, to create such a first quality and to give inspiration to people. It was incredible again. How do you do that?
I think it's due to this intensity we are working and the passion we are working, not just maintain what we have created with Time Waiver and Healy, but going deeper every year into the scientific background, strengthening the spiritual background, and also growing the community, because it's really about the people. And if the people are well connected and their intention is creating a coherent field, then it's just such a strong energy. And there's always so much new. I always say Time Waiver is like in the information field. Information field is potential, and from this potential reality emerges, but it's always 90% potential and 10% reality, what is realized. So we present the reality, but the people, they feel the sense of the potential, which is there as a very strong underlying feeling of connectedness.
Yeah, that's right. I was wondering because myself, from the point of view as a speaker of this conference, I was amazed. But how did you actually like this edition, Time Waiver World 2021? Are you happy with that?
I'm happy because we made it very simple.
Yeah.
It was very simple. We had a small studio in our castle, and technique was very simple. There was one mixing board and there was a computer which was managing the different participants. We had 3-4 cameras which were handled by one man, and there was one man additional support. Of course, some people were cooking and so on, but the setup was very, very simple. And it was a great experience, especially the interchange of the people. Everything was in a flow, just very small technical things. And there was such a variety of different qualities. There were like scientific lectures and interviews. There were amazingly practical experiences shared by our users like you and from other countries. And there was a spiritual dimension. We were taken by a meditation into, I would say, the depths of the information field. And there was a cultural aspect. We had every day 4 times an amazing guitarist playing a music which was so much fitting to what we are doing, because music is going through the information field directly to the heart.
Yeah, I know something about it. I started to play piano last year, and I really feel the connectedness to music. So I know what you mean. But we started already to talk, Marcus. But first of all, I would like to introduce you to Polish audience, because yes, a lot of people do know you already in Poland because of Healy, of course, and Time Waiver. But let me make an introduction for the people who will watch you and this interview on YouTube, okay?
Yes, please.
So hello, everyone. I have an honor today, a great honor, to have a special guest in my studio, Marcus Schmieke from Germany. Hello.
Hello, Dobroslawa.
And what is important from my point of view, because I would talk about Marcus' background for hours, First of all, Marcus has a strong scientific background. He studied physics, he studied philosophy. Besides, he is an author of many books and also scientific papers about quantum physics, information field, consciousness. But beside this very strong scientific background, Marcus has also very deep-rooted spiritual background. He was many years in a monastery in India. So the spirituality plays a very important role in his life as well. But nowadays, actually, in whole world, all around the world, Marcus Schmieke is known as the inventor and the father, I can say, of the time waiver technology, of an incredible technology which is based on the information field and on frequency therapy. We can say is a technology from the area of energy and informational field medicine. And I am very happy, Marcus, as a president and yes, first of all, as the president of the Association for Information and Energy Medicine in Poland, to have you as a guest again in my conference. So thank you very much that you accepted my invitation to our second conference of information and medicine in Poland. I wonder, how do you remember actually the first conference, which was in January 2020 in Poznan?
Yes, I remember it very well because it was one of my very last travels before the the stronger lockdown here in Germany, and therefore my memories are still very visible to my inner eye, and I especially like the family atmosphere there. So much like-minded people come together, very engaged people who really want to, with their work, help the people through energy and information medicine, but also to contribute to a stronger impact in society. You know, that this kind of medicine, or I wouldn't even call it medicine, because we need something different than medicine. Medicine is a concept of responding to a disease with a certain answer, specific answer to this disease, but it's all about the relationship of a therapist or a coach to a person, helping him to develop his self-healing abilities, to become a whole human being. So this was so much present in this gathering, this meeting of like-minded people. And of course, there were amazing lectures. So I was very honored and happy to be there.
I'm very moved that you're saying this, because for me it was a kind of mission, kind of goal for just people in my country to make them connected from my area. So I'm happy that you had this feeling, because it was most important for me that people can feel that. You know, we met 2015. It was in Frankfurt am Main in Time Waiver Conference. And since that time, I can say that you are a huge inspiration for me on many levels, not only on my therapeutical level as a time waiver therapist, not only on the level as independent time waiver seller in Poznan, not only at also a spiritual level. And I'm very grateful to you because of that. But for me, the thing what makes me feel connected with time waiver, I don't want to say only technology, because technology sounds for me a little bit, you know, too cold, too technical. I feel connected with the time waiver vision, I can say. And the crucial thing which makes me connected with that are values. It's care for people, care for nature, love to all human beings, but also permanent development on many levels. And I was wondering if also you can see it in this way, that only when we feel this interconnectedness, love to each other, empathy, when we have these deep roots, we can do something and transform whole humanity in a good direction. What do you think about that? Do I understand that right?
Yes.
Okay, and how do you feel from your perspective, the values of Time Waver vision? What is the most important thing for you in Time Waver, in the field of Time Waver?
You expressed it in very good words, because if you look at Time Waver, there's a small claim below the logo. It's called it says your connection to the information field.
Yes.
And the information field in itself is already interconnectedness. It's all about what we have lost by our fragmented consciousness, because we perceive objects to be different from each other, to be separate from each other. We perceive ourselves to be separate and even separated, sometimes in big distance, to our fellow human beings or the animals and the plants and Mother Nature. So this feeling of separatedness, or this seemingly independent existence of things, it's a cause of our fragmented consciousness. So on a very deep level, everything is one, but with this oneness we can't live. We are in a world of duality and fragmentation, so we need this deep inner connectedness to be able to live and work and act in this world where everything seems to be so disconnected, especially in these times we are living in now. Decisions of individuals can change a lot. Like if somebody's, like ignition of an atom bomb is a decision of someone, but it makes a big devastation. So that's an extreme example, but we have the problem that many people, like entrepreneurs or politicians, they make decisions, but they don't really feel the consequences. They are too far away. It's like living in the tower of a magician and making decisions and moving the world around, but not feeling the consequences. So what we have to develop is this very deep feeling of interconnectedness, and also to understand how everything is connected externally, and working with the information field, working with Time Waver and other good ways to contact the implicate order is so much helping to see those hidden connections. If I want to make a step, like a decision is ahead, for example, and I ask Time Waver for this hidden information, which is coming from the information field, I will always get the other side, which I have not looked at. I will see hidden consequences. And that's really the beauty. I use my ratio to make decisions and go away. And then through information field analysis, I can get a complementation so that I see the hidden consequences. And yeah, so that's seeing the interconnectedness, perceiving it, and then acting according to it, not only for one's own, you can say pleasure and advantage, or for one's family or for one's company, but trying to see the whole. This is this interconnectedness, this oneness. And I think this is the most important value behind Time Waver. And yes, this is what we are sharing with your intention, and I believe all those people who are coming to this conference.
Yes, exactly.
And you know, you talked about you express the same feeling. Whenever I try to think about how to name what we are doing, call it information field medicine? No. Information field technology? No. This doesn't really, it's in a way it's about love, but that's also not the way how to call it. It's not easy to give it a good name.
Yeah, it's not easy, and I was trying, and you know that I'm finishing my book about information medicine and energy medicine, the first part, and I was trying, based on your books, on your papers, scientific papers, I was trying to explain in a very simple way to people what that is, this information field, because people in Poland, a lot of people started to use Healy, and it's incredible idea behind that, because in the last 2 years, the information and energy medicine came to houses of so many people which are absolutely not connected with that, but they have questions, and they are coming to me with questions, and they are from many different areas. They have many different backgrounds. Some of them never was even thinking about physics, quantum physics. Information field is something absolutely like from the, some future movie.
I understood your question already, Dobroslawa.
Yes,
I understood it. So it's really how to this very deep concept of the information field. How, if I explain it to a physicist, it's very easy, because I can get him to the understanding of the quantum vacuum, and how on a very deep quantum vacuum level there is an order which manifests in the movements of the atoms and the molecules. So that's if we explain it to a psychologist, we can speak about the collective unconscious. So but to explain it to someone who is not really deeply into science, I believe that most of the people, they have this feeling that there is a hidden order behind everything. Everyone has experienced the synchronicities. If you think about someone, he's phoning. You just want to write an email to someone, you get an email from the same person. I just experienced it twice yesterday. It works, and everyone knows that it works. So there is a hidden order which connects physical and psychological events, which just connect things which happen right now in New York City and in Beijing. And in one point, these two people meet and they think about what happened that time. They know, okay, these two things happened so that we can meet now. So this hidden order, this teleology, so means like that the things don't happen by chance, that they are realizing a meaning. It's not that, it's just going towards the future, but also the future influences the past. And all this interconnectedness is in one field, which is the hidden order behind everything what happens. So either you believe everything happens by chance, or you understand there's a hidden order which actually puts things together in a meaningful way. And that's the information field. Information field is active, and the activity of the information field is meaning. Our life is meaningful. It's not just a collection of random events, but all the small things happening serve a certain goal. And this is directed through the information field.
Yeah, this meaning is so important. This meaning, because when you have also the sense of meaning and the sense of importantness of your existence, you can handle life in much better way, I think. But it's also a challenge, to explain scientists. You had physicists, and quantum physicists, and these both group were scientists, but as you know, much better than me, there was not connection always between these two groups.
Let me tell you, Dobroslawa, there is no physicist and quantum physicist, because modern physics, at least since 100 years, is quantum physics, and everyone with a third semester in studying physics is studying actually quantum physics. The question is just the interpretation. If you can really feel this absolutely shocking, revolutionary shift in consciousness, which quantum physics more than 115 years ago or 110 years ago has created. And many, you can say, scientists from different disciplines haven't gone through this shift of consciousness yet, but they are all using the laws of quantum physics. Without the laws of quantum physics, we wouldn't understand how an atom holds together, what is this chemical bounding, or what is semiconductors. So even 37% of all the global turnover is based on quantum physics. You know, we're living in a quantum world, but I would almost say the deep spiritual implications of quantum physics again come to the same level. Two consequences: that without consciousness, there's no reality. And second, everything is deeply interconnected or quantum entangled. There is an underlying wholeness. These are, for me, the two most important philosophical or even spiritual consequences of quantum physics. And you're absolutely right. Niels Bohr said, if you are not shocked by quantum physics, you haven't understood it. And
I love this quote. I love this quote so much. It's perfect. Yeah.
And I studied physics in Hanover, the first 5 semesters actually, and I was listening to the lectures on quantum physics, and I saw my professors, very good people, but they were not shocked at all. They just thought it's formulas for making nice engineering. And I said, okay, I need to go to a university where I still find the shocked quantum physicists. So I went to Heidelberg and was better there. But even this got frustrated. So then I decided I need to become a monk to really deeply dive into the spiritual understanding behind it.
And I think it's wonderful in your case, because you are connecting so much. You're like the symphony of so many layers, you know, and that's why you were able also to implement that to time waiver, because you are the consciousness behind, and that's wonderful. But what I want you to ask more, I work with time waiver devices, you know, for a few years. And for me, they are perfect tools because, yeah, from one point of view, I can analyze and optimize in the information field of my patient or a family or a, let's say, company. But on the other hand, with time waiver frequency, I can support my patients with frequencies. Yes, we have so many frequencies, thousands of frequencies in our frequency databases. And on third hand, we have frequency-specific microcurrent of Dr. McMakin. What I want you to ask is, what is the biggest treasure from your point of view in these devices you developed? And second question with that, what vision do you have for the future for time waiver?
I believe the biggest treasure is really this holistic understanding how the immaterial and the material, they are in a dialogue, and how we can understand and practically work with this understanding, kept put together in one sentence. It's the intelligence of consciousness, which informs energy. So it turns into a vibration which has frequencies. So in this one sentence, you see the whole line. Even intelligence is more like, you can say, the wisdom of consciousness. The wisdom of consciousness informs the energy which turns into a vibration which has frequencies. And the frequencies, actually, they are creating all this material reality we are living in. So this deep understanding how these deeper levels of consciousness, they directly communicate with living matter, I think that's a treasure. And therefore, sometimes I also ask myself, what's more important? What's a bigger treasure, like the pure information field work, or directly working with frequencies on an organism? And I believe we need to put this all together, because if we work with a human being, we're working not just with the body or with the liver or the mind or the soul, but we have to address the whole living being. And Time Waver gives us this instruments to work with, you see, like between consciousness and information and energy and matter. This is the structure. So between consciousness and information, we work directly with information field analysis and optimization. Then between information and energy, we're using frequencies which we are analyzing from the information field, and these frequencies are an expression of energy. And then between energy and matter, we are going very specifically into the structure and function. And here we use pairs of frequencies, because pairs of frequencies can be very specific, as you said, specific frequency-specific microcurrent, and we can address this level between the energetic and the material. So we have the three areas between information and consciousness, between information and energy, and between energy and matter. And therefore we have three ways to work: information field guided frequencies, and frequency-specific microcurrent. And I believe the beauty in it is this kind of completeness.
Yes, yes, I absolutely agree, because as you know, I work in a holistic way with my patients. I'm a psychosomatologist, so I can understand very well the connection between influence of our psyche and thoughts on our soma. But we know it's a model, as I said in my lecture. It's only a model because we are one coherent system. Marcus, last question. We have now challenging times, times which are connected with a huge transformation of whole humankind. And for many people, this is really a challenge, because it's a change. It's a completely change on many levels. How do you see our role? I mean, the role of time waver therapists in this time?
You see, what happened in the past is that many people got kind of isolated.
Yes.
And this means, you know, links which we or the people normally use to communicate it were kind of cut. People were restricted in their mobility, in many things which were absolutely normal before, to express oneself or to move, where due to the circumstances not possible or not allowed. And that's very interesting, because in this kind of isolation, we are more thrown back on ourselves. For some people, this was a great blessing, and other people just couldn't handle it. And we have to acknowledge this. And so what Time Waver does is, and I think those who work with Time Waver came very well through this crisis, because Time Waver is a deep inner connection. And if you have this deep inner connection, then you are able to handle all kinds of challenges externally. Because you are connected inside. You don't need all of these channels always open. If you're connected to the information field, you not necessarily need the Google information field or the network of all these information channels which we have outside. But what we need to find is really an openness inside and an openness outside. And if we combine this, then we can handle any challenge which will come. I believe what we faced in the last two years was a very small challenge compared to challenges which might be ahead of us.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think this challenges we just had, we're facing, is kind of a test in which way we as a humanity can react and respond on global challenges, because the world we are living became so complex, so globalized, that we are facing and will be facing all these global challenges ahead. And they are coming, they are already there. So it needs coming together. It needs, what I always say, like connecting the best of our rationality, our rational approach, which we have developed in our consciousness, with our deepest spiritual connection. If you combine our head, our mind, with our heart, with our feelings, and with our gut, means our connection to the earth and its inhabitants, then we will be prepared. So we have to become really truly aligned in ourselves. And the work with Time Weaver is meant for this, meant to connect to yourself, and then on this basis connect to the other. It's all about, you know it, you talked about in your lecture, it's about coherence. If you want to face external challenges, we must be coherent in the groups, in our nations, internationally and globally. And we have to overcome all this external conflicts and contradictions.
You know, I'm listening to you, and my heart is smiling very much, because today morning I was listening to an old lecture of Vimala Thakar. I don't know if you know this Indian teacher, spiritual teacher. Vimala Thakar was a good friend of Krishnamurti. And she said 1994, actually almost the same words you just said, that we have to find the source of strength and coherence. She used, imagine the word coherence as well, within ourselves. And only in this way we will be able to be interconnected within the humankind. So, Marcus, thank you so much for today, for this interview. We will see each other soon. And I wish you this interconnectedness, this silence within you, and may your vision for Time Weaver will also be a vision of every of us. I mean, every of Time Weaver practitioner, Time Weaver doctors, so we can create a strong Time Weaver field.
Thank you for this blessing, and your efforts in Poland are very, very much in coherence with what we are doing here in Germany and international, and therefore I'm so happy to be there at your conference. Looking so much forward to meet all these wonderful people you're bringing together, and I think we will have a lot of fun also. Thank
you so much. I appreciate your words. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye, Dobroslawa.
Bye-bye. Bye, Marcus.